All right, it's Friday. It's Halloween, and in his orange pants, it's Louie Herron in studio
man.
today.
Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
Dolphin pants.
As long as you don't.
And these are shorts, by the way.
Just don't talk gators.
Hey, you don't see these sexy legs, bro?
Just
look at these legs, man.
Just don't talk gators this morning, okay?
Yeah, that's a sad sight for old ex-Georgia Bulldog Muschamp. His days are numbered.
The secret agent.
Need to get him out.
That's what they call him, and they say he's been a secret agent for Georgia.
Need to root him out.
Yeah.
So what happens if would Georgia ever pick him up as a coach? How would Georgia fans feel about that?
Well, he won't coach for a couple of years. He'll be in good shape. He'll sit back and for a couple of years, and then
do ESPN, right?
See what's available.
But would Georgia take him as a coach? That's the question. I mean, no, not Georgia. Would the Georgia fans accept a Florida Gator?
Never say never. Never say never. You don't know. 2 years from now, Jeremy Pruitt gets a head coaching job. Will's sitting there. You never know. I mean, they wouldn't want him.
You heard it right here.
They wouldn't want him tomorrow. You called it. They wouldn't want him tomorrow. But
let time heals all wounds.
As a defensive coordinator, yeah. And also, time heals all wounds and time wounds all heals is what I've heard.
I hear that to be true.
Yes.
How about Florida State escaped one last night? Man.
That was an exciting game there for a while, and then the Louisville defense ran out of steam, I guess.
Man, I'll tell you, you play Louisville at night at home. It's tough, It's a tough game.
Yeah, I thought they were going to put them away.
Man, that would have really shook some things up.
Really did. It would have. This is the Louie Herron Weekend Kickoff. In case you're just joining us, we always talk a little bit about the weekend and football, and then also talk a little bit about car shopping because a lot of folks out there, great time of the year to do that. Hey, it's the end of the month, too. Today's the day.
It is a great day. It is. And we'll talk about the hidden cost of ownership today. There's a lot of things that I think when people are buying a car, they're focused on the payment, the trade, the interest rate, and the price, and all those things, man, are very, very important. And we'll touch on those, but I also think it's important that you understand what's the hidden cost, the things you don't see, the things you don't expect, the things that you think will just take care of themselves, and then you're rolling in your new payment, and then all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, this is a little more monthly than I expected, and now you've got maybe a little remorse, but. But I don't want to scoot away too quickly from football.
Okay.
I mean,
right.
Line us back up with some high school football.
Let's mention the high schools
don't
tonight.
Don't forget the Dolphins now. Don't forget the Miami Dolphins.
Our game of the week, Baldwin is hosting Mary Persons, 7:15 tonight, right here on Country 102. Also, John Millage is on the road to play Gatewood tonight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and
Battle of the Lakes.
Another border matchup. GMC Prep travels to play Hancock Central tonight. So all the teams in action, and Georgia Military College has the weekend off.
Do we have to ask Scott what happened last week? I didn't find it. Did GMC win? Aquinas? They play Aquinas last week, or
are you talking about the high school?
Yes.
Well, of course we know this.
Yes, but I know. But Scott is our resident expert.
Scott was actually in Arkansas last week.
Yeah.
So,
I just saw him a few minutes ago. He's looking good.
Yeah, actually, GMC Prep played Lincoln County last week.
Lincoln County, that's
Lincoln
right.
County was a winner in that game, 34-21. And John Millage blasted Augusta Prep last week. Baldwin, big win over Perry last week. So there you go. Your update on high school. And, of course, Todd Gurley, the Georgia appeal for Todd Gurley was denied by the NCAA. Really? So he will miss the next two games. He'll be back if he's still at the University of Georgia. He'll be back on November 15th.
Well, why do you say it like that? I haven't followed it completely. Is he?
There's just he's Coach Rick is saying he'll be back and all that, but hey, they lose tomorrow or the next game, who knows?
Yeah,
I think he'll be back, but who knows? So we'll see. Georgia, Florida tomorrow is a 3:30 kickoff. It's going to be very windy in Jacksonville, so that's going to affect that game. Going to be windy here too. We're going to have gusts up to 35 tomorrow.
What?
So it's going to be a windy.
What's the weather? Is it supposed to be chilly?
Clear, but mid 50s here, upper 50s there, I guess. But it's going to be windy and cool. So,
okay.
And Georgia Tech tomorrow is hosting Virginia. That'll be on Sports Radio 1450 tomorrow at 1:30 pregame, kickoff at 3:30. And the Falcons are off this weekend. Is that it? Anybody else we need to mention? Oh, the Dolphins, yes.
Yeah. Well, the Dolphins play the Chargers, so San Diego Chargers. So that'll be a tough game. So we'll see how that goes. I feel confident about it. We beat up Jacksonville last week, which is no big surprise.
Yeah,
So
you got to win the ones you're supposed to.
That's it. That's it. We're still licking our wounds from Aaron Rodgers with 3 seconds left that beat us. But But listen, when we come back, we'll talk the hidden cost of ownership. Stay with us because there's some things that maybe you never thought about when you buy a car that's above and beyond your payment, the price, the interest rate, and the trade.
Louie Herron Weekend Kickoff on Country 102, 8:35 and 41 degrees. Here's Dustin Lynch. Country 102, our Bobby Brown Insurance Agency, time 8:38, 41 degrees. Louie Herron Weekend Kickoff with Louie in studio. And, hey, you go buy a car, you get the payment, you say, okay, well, I'm ready to go. And there's a few other things you got to make sure you take into consideration as far as cost of a vehicle over the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 6 years. It's not just the car payment.
No, it's not, and you want to make sure that I think a lot of people when they get into a car purchase, the first thing they really look at, they look at the trade, they look at the price, they look at the interest rate, right? Now understand this, that regardless of what the numbers look like, high, low, good, bad, doesn't really matter. The bottom line number is what your payment is based on. It's just a function of math. So a lot of people, they don't want to talk about their payment because they don't want to feel railroaded. Like, when like a salesman says, well, what do you want your payments to be? Mm-hmm. Oh, no, you're not getting that.
Not boxing
yeah. So, but realize that question's really, it's relevant to you, the consumer, but it's really not relevant to the dealership, only to the degree that it doesn't matter what you want. I want my payment $250, but you're looking at a $38,000 F-150, it just, the 250 and 37, it's the math's not going to work. It really doesn't. If you're financing $30,000, 250 is nowhere in the realm of possibility.
Unless you're going to have a really big down payment.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. But if you had a really big down payment, the $30,000 would now be, $15,000 or whatever.
Right.
So I want to just express to everybody, although I think it's important that if you feel like you have the need to withhold information, and that's another show about negotiation, which I think we should do, to talk about kind of the tactics of both sides and how you can really make that benefit one another. I just would say to you, know what your budget is and leave it at that, but also understand that whatever the bottom number is after the price, after the trade, that financeable amount is going to dictate your payment. And here's real simple math, and I've said this 100 of times. For every $1,000 you finance, it's going to cost you somewhere between $22 and $25 a month. $10,000 out the door, bottom line is going to be somewhere between $220 and $250 a month. Mm-hmm. So knowing that out front and knowing that the budget is so important, getting the most car you can for the money, and we've thrown around leasing, we've thrown around different options, because ultimately it doesn't really matter who you are. If you're trying, unless you're going to write a check for a car and you keep it till it dies, everybody's focused on, look, I need a monthly arrangement that's going to work for me. But here's what I want you to remember: sometimes you can go look at a pre-owned truck and maybe a brand new Civic, right? You're torn between getting a new car that is economically makes sense, but you really want a truck, and the truck seems like a better deal because it's $4,000 cheaper, mm-hmm. $7,000 cheaper. Okay, but ultimately there are other things you want to consider. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fuel economy. All right, okay. the gas. Now, again, if you're looking at apples and oranges, this is something that's really, really huge. Or here's the other thing that I want you to consider. Now, check this out when I say this. A lot of people, and I've said this to customers in the showroom, Randy, that when they say, "Well, listen, I'm not buying anything today, or I don't want to pay $400 a month on this car." The reality is whether you're buying my car or not, you're buying something, because you're still leaving in the payment you got. In other words, if you're paying $383 or $390 a month, and here's another car that's for $400 a month or $420 a month, okay, what we're not talking about is paying $420. We're talking about paying $30 difference,
right, for
a brand new car with warranty or whatever the case may be. But in that process, I want to give you a website that I think will help you out. It's the fueleconomy.gov, fueleconomy.gov. Here's what I would tell you to do. Believe it or not, you guys know when you go to the pump, I mean, right now it's $3 a gallon, $2.83 a gallon, $2.95 a gallon, whatever it is. But that can fluctuate, okay? So be cautious and cognizant of what you buy, because even though you say, well, listen, I'm saving $2,000 on this car today, okay? You may not realize that it may cost you $140 to fill up a month. versus the other car may cost you $83 a month. Well, that's $60 a month in payment.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to the theory of every $1,000 is roughly $22 to $25. If you're saving $2,000 to $3,000 on the car, you're saving $40, $50. But your gas is $63, $70 more expensive. So really, you're going backwards.
Gotcha.
Because of some of the costs you don't even factor in. You just, oh no, it's $2,000 cheaper. That's a better deal. But monthly, somehow, you're still putting out on that car more money than you could have had you went the other way, and maybe even paid more for the car, but got a better car, got a newer car.
And that's just one of the things we're talking about today, about different things you need to look at as far as what that vehicle is going to cost you over the next several years.
That's correct. So stay tuned. We come back. We've got hidden costs of ownership, things you don't think about. I want to give you website information and things that can help guide you. Again, fueleconomy.gov. Don't buy a car unless you check that site. Make sure you check the fuel economy and compare it to the car you have or the one you're shopping. It could save you a bunch of money.
Louie Herron Weekend Kickoff on Country 102. It's 8:44, 41 degrees. Here's Little Big Town.
Everybody's always waiting on Friday, watching that clock and sitting on go. What you say we find a little warm sunshine and open umbrella on the patio.
This is Country 102, 849, Louie Herron Weekend Kickoff with Louie in studio today, and we're talking about all of the things you need to consider as far as what you're paying for your vehicle.
Hidden costs, we call them, right?
Okay,
things you don't see. We covered gas first. I want to cover one real quick that I don't want. This has come up. I'm not going to say it's a hidden cost, but I want everyone to really, really focus on what I'm saying, because this really is a big one. And I'm bringing it up because this week I've received, I'm telling you, 3 calls this week about customers that have bought pre-owned vehicles. Not for me, but people that know me that have bought them elsewhere, and they buy a vehicle that has 65,000, 75,000 miles on it, but they buy it because it's around that $10,000, $12,000, $13,000 mark, good price range, still financeable, $200 payment, something they can afford. They're banking and hoping that it's a decent car, and next thing you know, prior to 90 days, transmission goes out. Prior to 90 days, drivetrain's acting up. I mean, things that are major components, major things. So here's what I want to share with you. This is not a hidden cost, but I will tell you a cost that can be hidden that you don't expect is when you buy something that's new to you that may have 60 or 70,000 miles, and you got to put $2,500 into it 4 months later. That's a hidden cost. But so here's the breakdown. If you're going to buy a pre-owned vehicle, and it's going to have 60, 70,000 miles on it. There's a lot of cars out there that are great. In fact, I sell a bunch of them, and many dealers sell a bunch of them. So I'm not discouraging you, because that's the only way you're going to get that $12,000, $13,000 car that's got great equipment that you can pay $200 a month on, that's financeable. So it has its place, and there are many consumers that want that vehicle. Here's what I would tell you. Carfax the vehicle. Make sure you know exactly what the Carfax is. Also write down AutoCheck. That's another form of a Carfax. Now, most people don't know about AutoCheck. AutoCheck will give you a score on the car. It will say, for this Volkswagen Touareg, it should have a score based on its year and model. It should have a score of 81 to 85. The score on this car is 90. See, these are the little things that nobody would ever know. It's called AutoCheck, and it's just like Carfax, but it actually gives a score based on the manufacturer's recommendation. It's huge, and if you didn't know what it was, it could cost you. The second thing is, ask the dealer, give me the inspection. I want to find out, what did you do? We talked about the folder, right? We want to find out, what did you do to the car? Who serviced it? What'd you do? How much money did you spend on it? What needed to be done that you turned down? You need to know this. If a dealer looked at a car, and I've done this, I'm not going to make a used car new. I'm just not going to do it because I won't get the money back out of it. I'm going to fix the car, make sure it's roadworthy, it's safe, it's mechanically sound, it's a good, solid car. I'm change anything that's major wrong with it, but we're not going to overhaul a used car. Mm-hmm. Okay, so and no dealer's going to do that. Okay, but you need to know, if Louie Herron turned down a service, it was recommended. You should ask me why. Why did you do that? Well, here's my thoughts. Here's how much it would cost. It's not a safety issue. If you want, we can do it, and we can work it in the price. Yes, put that in the price. I'll split it with you. I want that done. No problem. Now you know what you got with that. The other thing is you can take it to your mechanic. Very important. The last thing is, does that car have a warranty? 60, 70,000 miles. Do you offer any warranty on the car? You need to know that. You want to find out. And also, is the car certifiable with those miles on it? And if so, can it be?
Louie Herron Weekend Kickoff, and we are talking about some good ideas, making you think a little bit about what's the best purchase for you, because it might not be just the lowest monthly cost. It may have a lot of other factors that you need to be looking at. This is Country 102 WKZR, 853 with Rascal Flatts. 102.3 FM, Milledgeville's Country 102, 43 degrees now. Our Bobby Brown Insurance Agency time, 8:56. Talking with Louie Herron this morning on the Louie Herron Weekend Kickoff, some of the hidden costs about buying a vehicle. Last break now, we were talking about somebody buys a vehicle and 45, 60 days later, they have a major problem, transmission, powertrain, whatever. And there's no doubt a lot of car dealers, it's right on the windshield, as is. You walk off the lot, it's yours, But let's talk about what you do. Now, you sell pre-owned vehicles.
Yep.
Somebody comes in. Is this something that they're going to look for on the windshield, or do you do something else?
Well, a lot of dealers do what I'm about to share with you. Not everyone does it, but we put a 4-month warranty on there just to avoid the issues. The fact of the matter is, for me personally, and I can tell you as a business owner, anyone listening that owns a business understands that when you have consumers that have issues after the fact, you have two choices. I mean, it's not a legal issue. It's really not. Legally, they bought your service or product, and you owe them nothing. Ethically, you may have had a transaction that was smooth and above board, and nothing was hokey about it. But morally, if you've got a customer that bought something from you 45 days, 60 days, and had trust and faith in you and what you were selling them, and on the other side, me as the dealer, I have trust and faith in my technician. I give you a 42-point inspection, and you check everything off. Did you check everything? I trusted my service manager. Did you make sure the work was done right? Because I'm going off what you tell me that it's a good car, so I can tell Ms. Johnson it's a great car. Right. Now Ms. Johnson's back here, and now she wants to know, what am I going to do for her? The bottom line is again, if anyone owns a business, you realize, you can't fix everybody's issues after the fact, but you can't afford not to assist people in scenarios like that. And if you've got cars coming back month in and month out, then you've got issues somewhere else. My practice has always been, and I've done it for years. I've been in the business 22 years. I've been doing this for at least the last 12, being a general manager and or owner. If somebody gets to me, you just got to handle it. Okay, and handling it doesn't mean, and I've had engine jobs. I'm telling you, I've had engines, $6,000 engines, that literally I had to be willing to fix. And a lot of dealers go, "Oh my gosh, Louie, have you lost your mind? You made $1,000 on, what do you owe for that? You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't build the." I understand that clearly. But if you're not willing to do those kind of things, and if your business structure is not solid enough to where those things aren't happening all the time, you got to handle them. And so if I got 2 or 3 instances like that a year, you got to just handle them, Randy. And so I think it's important for the consumers, check and make sure there's warranty that's given to you at no cost. You can buy an extended warranty, which I believe in, and there are things you need to watch out for that. That's a whole nother show. But yes, we put a 4-month warranty on there that covers all the major components: engine, transmission, front and rear wheel axles, a drivetrain, anything that pretty much makes the car move forwards or backwards is covered in that time frame. And again, if something happens in month number 5 or number 6, I mean, look, I can't own everyone's problems, but I promise you, I got an ear for you, and I'll make sure we can work something out like I have.
All right, Louie Herron Weekend Kickoff. We're going to be back for one final break in just a moment. Country 102 is WKZR Milledgeville.
This is the Huckabee Report for Friday. I'm Mike Huckabee. Happy Halloween, America. Imagine having 8 kids and no college.
Country 102 back one final time with Louie Herron on the Louie Herron Weekend Kickoff for Halloween. You going trick-or-treating tonight?
We went yesterday.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, a little trunk or treat action.
Trunk or treat? Okay.
My kids are getting big now. My daughter, she no longer treats, and my son tricks. So, he's on the back side of it, though. He'll be in 6th grade next year, so he's getting towards the end where it's not that cool,
Yeah, gotcha.
It's not that cool. We didn't, look, the hidden cost of ownership, man, we hit fuel economy was one, but we still have 3 specific others that we didn't really get to because I got off on a tangent talking about buying some pre-owned cars with some concerns and some costs after the fact based on some calls that I got. But at any rate, I just want to let everyone know, if you're in the market for a car, again, it's the last day of the month. I don't care where you want to buy it, who you want to buy it from. It's going to be a great day to buy a car.
Yep.
So if you're in the market and you're thinking about that new or that pre-owned car, It's a great time. If you're thinking about a used car, here's what I would ask you to do. If you're interested in saving some money, and if you're interested in dealing with somebody that will be there, the owner himself, I'd love to work with you. I'd love to at least be in the running. I mean, if we don't take care of you on product and price and service, I wouldn't expect you to buy from me. But at the same time, if you give us an opportunity, you can go to louieslakelot.com. Check us out on AutoTrader, Cars.com. I can assure you our price points are the best in this area. I promise you. If we've got the car and someone else has a similar car, I promise you our car is going to be less expensive, and we can afford to do so. But we're also extremely hands-on to make sure that after the sale things go well. We're local, and again, I've been serving the community for over 5 years now, so I'd love to have that opportunity. Tons of makes and models, 60-plus cars on the lot. I mean, Highline vehicles. We got some nice BMWs, Mercedes, Lexus, Infinitis, Volkswagens, Audis. We got a sharp Audi. We got the Hondas and Nissans and Toyotas and Fords and Chevrolets and Kias and Hyundai. So we got what you're looking for, and most importantly, if we don't have it, we can find it. And we got the time to do it. The fact of the matter is, Randy, I wish I can tell you my lot was flooded with customers, but the reality is we get 5-6 emails a day, we get 2-3 phone calls a day, and we get 1 or 2 customers that come up on the lot every day. So we can handle that. I say all that to say we have got plenty of time to find a car for you. It's not like a normal dealership with service and sales and internet and business development and parts and accounting, and we've got time. So if you want a car and it's something that you thought we had, we can find it for you easily, and we don't even charge a deposit. We'll get it and bring it in for you.
We've gone almost the entire show without mentioning Louie's Lake Lot is on the Lake Oconee Parkway near the Pyramid. Very easy to find. The detour's not there anymore if you're coming from Milledgeville.
Right. P Ridge, right through.
Right through there in no time, and head on up there. And heck, you can make a day of it on. There's so much to do up there. So go by and see Louie's Lake Lot and check him out again near the Pyramid on Lake Oconee Parkway.
Yeah, and if you want to, just the number is 706-991-1900. Easy number, 991-1900. The fastest way to get to Louie's Lake Lot is louieslakelot.com. Easy way, fast. Once you check out what we have, you can phone us, you can email us, and then you can drive it. And if we need to, we can bring a car to you.
I was on your website yesterday.
It looks slick, doesn't it?
It looks really good. And there's somebody I know that's looking for a late model Kia.
Okay.
And I made sure you didn't have one, but then I said, no, call him and see if he can get it for you. So hopefully they'll get up with you.
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
All right. Thank you, and have a good weekend.
You too.
All right. That's the Louie Herron weekend kickoff on Country 102. Have yourself a great Halloween. Be safe out there, folks. Be very safe out there. Let's remind you about a couple of spots tonight where you can take the trick-or-treaters. The West Baldwin Fire Department, Highway 22 West, from 6 to 9 p.m. They'll be giving candy out. Also, the Baldwin Senior Citizen Center, they'd love to see the trick-or-treaters there today. They'll have candy as well. So a couple of places you can take the trick-or-treaters that you know will be safe. And just be very careful out there if you're going door to door this evening, and enjoy, but be extra careful. Country 102, WKZR, 45 degrees. Have a great weekend.